Welcome to Pokemon TCG Pocket Hype Day SpaceTime Smackdown Edition. I'll be your host, Levin, and I've rounded up all the news I could find about the new set. And if you've only seen the trailer, you do not have the complete picture, so stay tuned to learn more. Alright, let's watch that trailer together to go over it really quick, just to make sure that we're all starting on the same page. So, the new set's coming out. It's going to be Gen 4 themed, and we are going to have Dialga as one pack mascot, of course. And you know that means that the other one is going to be Palkia. Pay attention to the pink splash screen in background here compared to the blue splash in background on Dialga. I think that there is some significance to that. SpaceTime Smackdown is the name. Here's what the packs look like. It does seem like there might only be two this time. Now, we have the 3 Gen 4 starters. We don't know about the evolutions just yet, but we assume they're in there. We have Pisu, Leafeon Honchkrow on a blue background. I think that means the Dialga. Now, Cynthia, Gible, and Cresselia seem to be in the Palkia pack. And that's coming out on Wednesday, January 29th. That might be West Coast time zone. I think East Coast. It might technically be after midnight on Thursday. But the day before, we are getting trading added. Trading is coming one day before the new set, which is very exciting. And there is some more news on trading, so stay tuned to hear about that. Now, just thank you, first of all, to Joby in the house on Reddit for pointing out the blue and purple splashes, which I think might give us a sense of what each pack is going to look like. And I also want to shout out Valeria93 for saving me a trip to this hell website. Screw this website, screw the owner, just want that on the record. But the people on it are still good and helpful, including this leaker who has said that there are only 2 packs, Dialga and Palkia. And if we go to the TCG Pocket official website, we can see that it lists that SpaceTime Smackdown features over 140 cards. We know the Genetic Apex had 226, I believe, which is technically over 140. You got me. But I don't think they would say it like this if there was a secret third pack they haven't shown us. So I'm pretty sure it's only going to be those 2 packs, which makes it a little bit easier to collect and maybe a little bit easier on our Hourglass supply. But I do have to wonder if that means that the next set, this is A2, like Genetic Apex is A1. I have to wonder if the A2A, like Mythical Islands A1A, is maybe also going to be 2 packs? We get 4 total, or if Genetic Apex is just special because it was the first set and gets special treatment, gets to have a little bit more cards, which does kind of make some sense to me, so I don't know. I might try and save a few Hourglasses, or I might just blow them all at once. It's tough to say, but we don't know exactly what the shape of this is going to look like yet. Now, let's take a look at those cards that were shown. A big thank you to... I did already say thank you to Valeria93. Yes, I think I did. There it is again. Big thank you to Ash Ninja Gamer for getting these screenshots, so we didn't have to pause the trailer and cut the music. We have Diaga EX, 150 HP basic EX Pokemon. 2 Steel Energy. Is it officially called Metal Energy? Maybe, but I like to call it Steel. It makes more sense to me. This lets you take 2 Steel Energy from your energy zone and attach it to a Pokemon on the bench. Does not specify that that is a Steel Pokemon on the bench. Just so you know, that can go to any Pokemon, which means it's a huge buff to anything that needs 2 Steel or 2 Colorless Energy, at least. That means not only Wigglytuff, Pidgeot EX, a little bit easier to play, but also something like Mew EX, even something like Mewtwo EX or Charizard EX use 2 Colorless Energy, so they might get a little bit easier to play with this or have other options. Is it going to be the best way to play those cards? Probably not, but I think we're going to see a good amount of this card, and I think it does empower some new strategies and bring back some old ones, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, of course, it goes along with Palkia EX. 150 HP again, basic Pokemon again, EX Pokemon again. One water energy to do 30 damage with Slash. That's pretty good. If that was all this Pokemon did, I would think it was pretty good. Dimensional Storm, discard 3 water energy to use this attack, but also does 20 damage to the whole bench. A little bit clunky, a little bit hard to use, but could be a pretty insane finishing move, and it's in an element that has Misty and Vaporeon to make energy a little bit more fluid. I think this could be a very nasty Pokemon to start on, move to the bench, and then come back in to finish the fight. Some people think it's not very good. Maybe it's not. We will see once we get the chance to actually play it and see how it fits into the meta, but I'm excited. I think both these are very cool cards. Now, we have the 3 starters. These are much less interesting. I'm sure we will see evolved forms and probably EXs of the... Probably EX equivalents of the final evolutions of these, but we don't know what that's going to look like. Turtwig has a lot of HP, but takes a little bit too much energy. Not super playable as a basic. Chimchar, I like 1 energy for 20, that's pretty decent. More playable than Charmander in my opinion, because it doesn't set you back 1 turn in terms of energy. And then Piplup, probably the most interesting because it's colorless energy and it heals itself. I don't imagine it's going to be the most helpful thing in the world, but it might help it stay alive a little longer if it's all you draw into. And maybe that means that as it evolves, it will keep a healing theme. That could be pretty cool. We'll find out soon enough. Now, Pisu EX. Since we have a Cynthia supporter, I really hope that means that we can also get a Seijan Park supporter for Pisu. I think it's only fair, I think it's deserved, I think that'd be really cool. But this also confirms that we are getting Pokemon tools, which are like equipment for Pokemon. You can attach them to Pokemon and they have effects like more damage, or take less damage, or immunity to effects, or whatever else. So we don't know what the HP is on this, they censored that pretty cleverly. But depending on what the HP is and what kind of tools we get, this might actually replace Pikachu. It technically takes less setup. You only need 1 card to go with it instead of putting 3 more Pokemon on the bench. But as equivalent or more HP, that would be nice. And if we have a tool that actually increases the damage that Pisu can do, then it would be doing as much or more damage than Pikachu. The floor here with equipment is 80, which is close to Pikachu, but not quite. So we might see some shake up the electric decks, which I'm ready for personally. Now we have Leafeon and Honchkrow here. Leafeon, they also kind of censored this one, but it seems like it does 90 damage for 2 energy, stage 1 grass Pokemon evolving from Eevee. But it seems like after you use this move, it will not be able to attack next turn. I'm pretty sure the text says that you won't be able to do something next turn. Attack is most likely, but we'll find out. Depending on the retreat cost here, this could be pretty nasty. But at 0 retreat cost, you just attack, then leave next turn, bring someone else in. That'd be super strong. I'm not expecting that, but that'd be super strong. Just the burst damage on 2 energy makes it pretty playable. And then Honchkrow is one of these Pokemon that I believe, we don't have the full text, but I believe it's going to work like Zebstrika or Finneon, where you just pick a Pokemon, including the bench or active spot, and do, I believe it says 50 damage to it. Now, there is something interesting about Honchkrow. Once again, thanks Ash Ninja Gamer for these screenshots. Something interesting about Honchkrow that Mocha Chocolate Yaya pointed out for us is that in the English trailer, we see there's 2 retreat costs on Honchkrow. In the JP trailer, there's only 1. So it seems like some of what we're seeing in these cards is still subject to change. All of this is early leaked information, so if some of it changes, I'm very sorry. I don't want to mislead you. This is the best information I could find that seems trustworthy. But we don't know fully how good this card is going to be. It's a stage 1. I think if this attack uses 1 energy, again, that's censored. This could be a really good card. Could make Dark a little bit stronger. We could have cool synergy with Weezing, making them retreat to cure poison. Then Honchkrow comes in and bops that Pokemon. I think that could be neat. But we don't know. If it's 2 energy, I think that's definitely worse. We'll see. But I think I like seeing Dark get more tools. I want Dark to get stronger. Now we have the Full Art Cynthia. I assume there will be a non-Full Art version as well that does the same thing. This is like Blaine, but adds 50 damage for Togekiss and Garchomp. You might see this and think, that's so much better than Blaine, why are they power creeping? Well, Blaine works on stage 1 Pokemon, this card works on stage 2 Pokemon, so theoretically it's coming out later and harder to set up. We might see some sort of support card that makes it a little easier to get onto those stage 2s, so maybe it will actually be that good. But that's a supporter card, then you can't play Cynthia the same turn, so I do think it's going to be a little bit slower than Blaine, and the speed of Blaine hasn't made it so good, so we'll see how good Cynthia is. Seems like it's going to be in that Palkia pack based on this pink background again. Gible seems to be in there as well. I think we can intuit from that Gabite and Garchomp will be there as well. I also just want to point out this says Garchomp and Togekiss. It does not say Garchomp EX or Togekiss EX. So even if there are EX variants of those cards in this set, I don't think this would power them up. Or if we get those later, I again don't think this card would power them up since it doesn't list the correct name. Not 100% sure about that, but I believe that's the way things work in this game. And finally we have Cresselia here. 110 HP, basic Pokemon, not an EX, 2 energy, heals 20 off of Cresselia and does 50. Could be a cool card, we'll have to see how it fits into decks or how it fits into new Psychic cards. I think I like it. I think that it could be a wall, much like we've seen Dredagon used. I feel like it's kind of the opposite of that in a lot of ways. That deals damage when it's attacked, this heals your damage when it attacks, and has a little bit more HP, so it could be a really great wall. We'll see. I'm excited to get my hands on a copy. Already talked about Honchkrow's Goons. Now, there is a leaked card that was not on the trailer. Aren't you glad you stuck around for this? Lucario full art. Again, I assume there will also be a more common version that is not full art, but I love this full art. We got 2 retreat cost. A little bit rough. But 2 energy for 40. Not the most amazing, except that we have this ability. Fighting Coach. Attacks used by your fighting Pokemon do plus 20 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So I believe that means this 40 is actually 60, which feels a lot better. And even when Lucario is on the bench, this should apply to whatever Pokemon you have fighting, which which is pretty awesome. And I love this art with all the other fighting Pokemon. It totally fits with the ability and it looks great. I really dig the style of it. Thank you to Richie3F for sharing this. I'm not sure what the source of this is, but it really does look real to me, so I'm taking it as that. If it isn't real or the effect changes, I'm very sorry. I'm doing my best to bring the information that I can find. Now, we also have what seems to be a leaked full screen for trading, which was not shown in the trailer, but what we can tell from this is that there are 2 currencies involved in trading. If this is in fact real, I'm so sorry if it's not, but it really looks the part. It seems like one of them is stamina that will naturally refresh, just like with Wonder Picks. I'm guessing, we can't actually see that here, but I'm guessing this would naturally refresh. And also something a little bit more like Shine Dust that we'll have to collect from doing quests, missions, achievements, and whatnot. Hopefully they just shower this on us like Shine Dust so it isn't really a bottleneck. It seems like it only takes 120 to trade a 3 diamond, which is, I think, most of what a lot of people need. So that's pretty cool. I just hope they shower us with enough of this that it's not that limited, because I love the idea of it using a naturally regenerating form of stamina so that there is incentive to be trading all the time. I don't want to just be hoarding my stuff like I have a tendency to do. I want to be forced to spend it when this thing fills up so that I can get all those cards I'm missing and finish out Genetic Apex. I think that'd be really cool. I really hope that is how trading works. Thank you to Kai Shin for sharing that. And finally, thanks to Tobi Obito here posting that we have a leaked binder cover and display board. This is the display board. I think this looks so sick. The like ancient ruins, Darkrai, Dialga, and Palkia. I'm probably gonna switch to using this one when I get it. I think it looks really cool. As long as it's not paid only, I will likely be using this. The Lucario art again looks really great. And then we also have this binder. Again, it's the legendary Pokemon that we just talked about. This also looks really cool. And this raises the question, will the next expansion, the A2A expansion, be a Darkrai pack? Could it be Shaman? Could it be Darkrai and Shaman? Could it be something else? Again, we don't know, just something to think about. And that is all the news I could find about SpaceTime Smackdown that's out there right now. So I hope I brought you something you hadn't seen yet. I hope you had a good time. If you did, maybe you could hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And I'll be back with more content just as soon as I can. I still have to stream some win streak matches on my alt account. Who knows what deck I'll be playing? It could be anything. But more content is coming very soon, so thanks for sticking around if you're here at the end. It really means a lot to me. And I'll be back for you soon with even more. So, till then.